Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, April the 18th, National Animal Crackers Day, National Columnist Day, National Lineman Appreciation Day, National Auctioneers Day, and National Record Store Day. Sunday, the 19th of April, National Amaretto Day, National Garlic Day, National Hanging Out Day, National North Dakota Day, and National Oklahoma City Bombing Commemoration Day.
Okay.
I remember when that happened. I was just a youngster. I had a friend that was supposed to be in that building. He went to there were two different federal buildings in Oklahoma City. He was in the other one, but he had a meeting that he was going to. Turns out it was at the one that, if he would have been there, he might not be with us anymore. So, scary stuff. I've got a guest coming up in the program today. Michelle Gotthelf is with Investigation Discovery's Torn from the Headlines, New York Post reports. She actually works for the New York Post, and it's kind of a cool program that just recently started. We'll chat more about it in a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at MarketBeatMinute.com. That's MarketBeatMinute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A study by New York University found that obesity is the single biggest factor in coronavirus hospitalizations. So they're saying, as they're going through and, what separates people who
recover from
right
the
away,
ones who don't.
And they're saying the ones who don't are typically obese,
Yeah.
which now I'm concerned.
I could see that. I mean,
I'm a bigger fella, so this is not good news for me, and probably many other people listening. So maybe instead of sitting on the sofa eating chips right now, we should, go for a walk around the living room or something. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Ohio man live-streamed a massive party while defiantly declaring, we don't give a about coronavirus, to be arrested over the weekend. So I don't quite understand. He was flouting social distancing rules. He said, this is how we do it in my city. 25-year-old Rashawn Davis bragged in an 11-minute video shot Friday night in Cincinnati, later posted to YouTube. We don't give a about coronavirus. This is how we celebrate. He was busted Saturday, charged with misdemeanor for violating the governor's stay-at-home order amid the pandemic, according to a police report authorities posted to their Facebook page. Cincinnati police recommended a high bond or none at all until he can appear before a judge for his, quote, complete disregard for public safety, end quote. So YouTube commenters were not exactly the nicest to him either, or to the other people who were at his party. They were drinking and hooting it up and having fun, and I guess that's what happens when your brain is on.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Joel McHale is being slammed for his Tiger King after show that was released on Netflix last weekend. You know what? I still haven't watched that. I should do that today.
Yeah, you should do that alone.
I really should. But I've actually seen several people online saying it was not very good, so that's why I haven't rushed right out. Carol Baskin, by the way, says she feels betrayed by the producers of Tiger King because she thought the documentary was going to focus on cat rescues. That's what she claims they told her. As it turns out, it wasn't really focusing so much on that as it was on many other things that were all quite bizarre. And Good Morning America host George Stephanopoulos has tested positive for COVID-19 2 weeks after his wife, Allie Wentworth, overcame the disease. So she had it, got over it, now he's got it. So hopefully he'll get over that as well. And the good news is, here's the thing. I love the fact that his wife overcame the disease. She's fine. why aren't we hearing more stories about that? Because like 98+% of people that get it are recovering. Let's hear more of those. And again, I'm not trying to say, to pretend like the other stuff's not happening, but a dose of good news right now is really, really good. We've got some good news coming up later. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Dr. Anthony Fauci told the Wall Street Journal that Americans should never shake hands again. Even when all this stuff is done, we should never, ever shake hands again. I don't know about that.
I doubt that's gonna...
Yeah, I just... And you know what? There are people who didn't shake hands before.
Right.
They were like the fist bumpers, or they're like,
right.
Yeah, I just don't... But it was always quite unusual. And even to this day... I just met somebody the other day where for the first time ever went to shake his hand, and he's like, oh, we don't do that anymore. I was like, oh, yeah, me neither. I was just checking to see if you knew that. I put my hand back in my pocket like a gunslinger. I'm like, it's my dangerous weapon.
It still doesn't bother me.
Major airlines cutting back flights by 90% this summer because of flyers being leery of catching COVID-19. So they're trimming back the number of flights, which I understand that. Yeah, without people in the seats, it's kind of hard to do that. Facial recognition software is struggling to identify Americans wearing masks during this crisis.
Oh, darn.
So there are people who are saying, well, maybe we shouldn't have everybody wearing a mask. Well... A study by NYU found the coronavirus may have been spreading in New York City months before they realized it. Connecticut teenager was arrested for Zoom bombing an online class and disrupting the teacher's lessons, and he is now facing up to 6 years in prison.
Whoa!
Yeah. And I honestly, for disrupting a class, if he ran into a schoolroom and disrupted the class, he'd get in trouble.
Not 6 years in prison, he wouldn't if he ran into a schoolroom and yelled, hey, look at me.
Well, he was stopping
that is insane.
them from... Well, you're right. He shouldn't have done that, and then he wouldn't have to worry about whatever
but 6, come on.
It says up to.
A
that
fine,
doesn't mean...
would probably be...
I think what they're trying to do is say, quit doing this, because there's more and more people doing it, and they're thinking it's really funny, and they're like, hey, look at this. Look what I did. And at least this one wasn't as bad as some... But, yeah, it could be. And it says up to, so it's not necessarily that long. Aviation authorities have received dozens of reports of a cigar-shaped object flying over the Nebraska sky. I wonder what that could be. So online, everybody, of course, instantly says it's like people from another planet. And they're like, nah, let's go to the next one. We don't want to stop here. Let's go to the next planet. I don't know that that's what it would be. It could be a surveillance tool by our government or another. Who knows? It could be just about anything.
Bill Clinton's new private jet.
Would you stop it? It's cigar-shaped. That's why she said that. I have a link to the story if you want to read more about it. And an Indian couple has named their baby Lockdown after giving birth during the coronavirus. So this was in India.
Poor kid.
I know. Why would you do that? Adjusted data shows that far fewer people will die from coronavirus than initially expected. I'm leaving that as our final story because we need to end on that. That's a positive note.
That's a very positive note.
So when they came out with the numbers earlier, they were saying it could be this many, and now they're going, hey,
way
it's
lower.
Far less.
Way less than half of what they were saying before. So that's
positive.
Awesome.
So if you only remember one thing from our scoop of the day, remember that.
Right.
It's very good news. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Michelle Gotthelf is the digital editor of the New York Post. We're going to talk today about the new investigation discoveries torn from the headlines, New York Post reports. And this is a program that just recently started on investigation discovery. Michelle, how are you?
Good. John, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Tell me a little bit about this program. It sounds like you guys have got some pretty fun stuff you're working on.
Oh, wow. I am so excited about it. Let's see. What can I tell you? It's airing on Investigation Discovery. It'll air Monday nights at 10 p.m. That's Eastern and Pacific time. And it's a 6-episode series that focuses on some of New York's most, what I like to call, inconceivable crimes.
Oh, wow. So are these things that most people have heard of, or are these things that if you don't live in New York, maybe you've not heard of it before?
Exactly. What we did, so I have to tell you, this was a painstaking process going back through like hundreds and hundreds of cases in our archives to try to find out which 6 we wanted to focus on. But what we did is we found cases that, while they had a major impact in New York at a time, right now they don't come, immediately to your memory. And I'm sure people in the middle of the country or on the West Coast wouldn't remember them. So which gave us a really good opportunity to be able to set the stage and lay out the cases in a unique way, involving all journalists, and the people would not know what the endings are. So it's not like you're going to flip on ID and be like, oh, I know this story.
Oh yeah,
you're going to want to turn it off.
So the thing that's cool, a lot of people have heard of the New York Post, but what they might not know, this is America's oldest and longest published newspaper, so you guys have been around a long, long time. Are some of these stories from quite a while back?
No, actually, what we did, we also wanted them to stay kind of modern, so we went back about 20 years. So it's still very modern. I mean, everybody can blink and remember where they were 20 years ago. So, it still involved, technology from the day, except for one story didn't have cell phones, which was kind of odd to watch because you're yelling at the screen why didn't they just call?
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been working for the New York Post for about almost 20 years, but we've been in the business of newspapering since 1801.
Oh, wow.
So we're pretty old. Yeah, we are very established, and we were founded by Alexander Hamilton.
Holy cow, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah,
now,
it's pretty cool, right?
So I've not yet had a chance to see an episode of this. So tell me, is it when I'm watching it, is it like a documentary, or is it more like I'm watching the story happen? What is the actual program like?
You're watching the story happen. You will get each story from its inception, whether it's a phone call to the newsroom or a piece of information that comes in. You're basically seeing the story through the lens of the reporter, the journalist working on the story, which makes it more unique. It's not just investigators. We go back, we talk to investigators, we talk to the journalists, we talk to the families. We use amazing archival footage that people haven't seen in forever, and it's absolutely amazing to see New York back in that day. We're telling a good tale here.
It's on each Monday. Will I be able to see, if I missed the one this week, will I be able to see that somewhere as well?
I think you can. They're going to be streaming on ID Go, which is an app for Discovery ID. So yeah, you'll never miss it. You'll never miss it.
And ID is Investigation Discovery, and that's through the Discovery Channel. They've got several different channels. And again, the program is called Torn from the Headlines, New York Post Reports. It's on each Monday. And again, Michelle, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Again, Michelle Gotthelf, and she is with the New York Post, and the program, once again, on Investigation Discovery. It's called Torn from the Headlines, New York Post Reports. I've got a link to all of the information for this program in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Right now, even a little vacation would be nice.
But this one is going to be great.
This October, we're going to Cancun for a fun event called The Sands.
Hear awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This happens at the end of October. And when everything blows over, we're going to need a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this same event for the last 3 years, and it's so much fun. I wouldn't miss it.
Get all the information and get your spot reserved to join us at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John? Danes
once bred a pig to look like the flag. In the early 20th century, those who resided in part of Prussia, northern Frisia, under Prussia rule, they were not allowed to raise the Danish flag. But some crafty North Frisians took action by breeding a pig known as the Danish protest pig to be red in color with a large white stripe around its belly, creating an animal version of the flag. It technically did not break the law because it would not have been feasible to ban the breeding of pigs, so they were successful in protesting Prussia by breeding a pig that looked like the flag they wanted to raise. How crazy is that?
Right.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that either.
Now we're going to have to get a pig. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Spain. A Spanish woman was arrested after she ripped her clothing off and jumped onto the roof of a police car following a court appearance. Wait a minute, what? So after a court appearance, she came outside, ripped her clothes off, and jumped on a cop car.
Huh. Wonder what her court appearance was for.
Probably didn't go well, whatever it was. Yay! I won! Whatever it was,
oh, goodness gracious.
I could click the link to find out more, but I don't know that I want to know more. I think I'm going to be happy right here not knowing any more about that. But I do have the link if you want to know more. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, some weird news. It comes your way courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man in California was arrested Monday accused of assaulting his mother after a family dispute over toilet paper. Yeah. There was a post on Twitter all about this. It says here, it turned into a physical confrontation, and one was arrested. In the week since the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been people freaking out about the supply of toilet paper. It's been flying off the shelves all over the place.
Yeah,
Deputies were called to the home around 3 a.m. when a 26-year-old Adrian Yan accused his mother of hiding the family's toilet paper. They had an argument that erupted. Shirley Miller of the police station there told the news service that did this story that Yan then punched his mother.
Oh, my gosh.
The 26-year-old was arrested for suspicion of battery. Also, probably not going to win the Son of the Year award. Just saying. Whether I don't know if his mother lives with him or if he lives with his mother, but the way he's acting, he probably lives with his mother.
I'm sure he does, yeah.
I'm just, again, that's a broad generalization. And nothing against people who live with their mother. But I'm saying if you do, treat your mother with respect. That's where I was going with this. And 3 a.m., going in and punching your mom because you can't find toilet paper? What? Mm-hmm. Nothing about that is normal. That's why it's today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Florida police say after declaring that social distancing rules were getting out of hand, a customer forcefully coughed on a store cashier and said he's going up to people wearing masks and doing the same thing, coughing on them as well. 49-year-old Christopher Canfora, a paramedic, intentionally coughed on an employee at a tool store. He's a paramedic. What?
Oh, jeepers.
Described as a charging affidavit, he approached a cashier, Amanda Poog, and commented on tape markers placed on the ground to ensure that people were 6 feet apart.
Right.
The 21-year-old cashier told him, again, he's 49, this is getting out of hand. This is why everywhere I go, I cough behind everyone with a mask. That's what he said to her. He then allegedly coughed on her and all over the register. After coughing on her, he stated he was going to be on his way to do this again at a Winn-Dixie. Using a store receipt for the purchase, police tracked down this gentleman. After he was placed under arrest, he said he did not expect anyone to understand his sense of humor, as he and his partner joke around like this at work all the time. But they're like, yeah, it's not a joke. It's a bad idea. It's just so many of these. Stop doing that. It's today's moment of duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up just to trick you and amuse me? Here we go. Fake news or Florida. Florida man had his monkey taken away after police busted him for driving a stolen vehicle. Fake news or Florida?
After they busted the man for driving a stolen vehicle or the monkey for driving a stolen vehicle?
Monkey taken away after police busted him doesn't really clarify.
It does not clarify.
Let's say the man, and then we'll say the monkey. Would it be the same answer either way?
I am going to say fake news.
So are you assuming it was the man driving or the monkey driving?
I'm assuming it was the man driving, but what would that have to do with a monkey?
Okay. So what if the monkey was driving? Still think it's fake news?
Fake news.
Either way, you're wrong. It's a true story. A Florida man had his monkey taken away after police busted him for driving a stolen vehicle.
Okay.
So again, I could click the link to find out if the monkey stole the vehicle or if the man did. I'm assuming the man.
I want a monkey.
I know. We checked into it. We cannot have a monkey.
I know.
But this has been fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge. You can find more details on this at giftcardchallenge.org. This is kind of a cool story. I don't know if you remember this, but I'll read the headline first and we'll talk more about it. Woman marries the man who saved her life during Las Vegas shooting. So the Harvest Festival, remember that? Where it was terrible thing.
Horrible.
Well, Chantel Melnason met Austin Monfort just hours before this mass shooting. And she said, this picture has so much meaning behind it. We were strangers. I decided we needed a picture. Less than an hour later, we were in a mass shooting. I'm so blessed that Austin walked into my life when he did. So there's a photo of these two at the event before any of that took place. That's the day they met.
Oh, how sweet.
And understand the circumstances in which they met. She went to the festival after a friend offered her an extra ticket. He introduced himself, and the pair soon realized there was a spark. An hour after they snapped a photo together, that's when everything took a turn for the worse for the event. It says, everyone ran in different directions, but Austin stayed with me, and we ran together. We ran across the entire festival ground, stopping a few times to get shelter. Austin never left my side that night. He's my hero. He kept me calm. He took my hand. He told me that we were running to safety while bullets were raining down.
Wow.
How crazy is that? So now they're married. There's a photo of the two that are married.
Awesome. That's super cool. I love that.
He proposed 18 months later. They FaceTimed every day for a long, long time. So it wasn't like that one night and they're like, okay, let's get married.
Sure.
18 months of talking every single day. And wrote on Instagram, it says the couple plan to rearrange their wedding party and celebrate their remarkable love story when the lockdown is over. But they did get married, I believe.
Oh, that's
they married
sweet.
in November. There we go.
I love that story.
And they were planning a big Vegas wedding in May. Okay, that's why. So I was trying to figure out what that meant. So they moved the official one. So there you go. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I have a link to that positive news story. If you like good news, you can find good news every day. It's at the bottom of the page on our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.